On the 6th of October 1829. They took place just outside Liverpool in a village called Rainhill. Each locomotive that entered the trials would be required to pull a load up and down a section of line for 70 miles. The engine that completed the distance most efficiently would reap the huge prize money. 500 quid. Whew. George Stephenson, his son Robert and their friend and collaborator Henry Booth entered rocket into the competition. Enormous crowds turned out to see the giants of the engineering world compete against each other. But despite the publicity, the Rainhill Trials attracted only 2 serious contenders for Stephenson's rocket to beat. The first was a steam engine from London called Novelty. Although a clear favourite with the crowd, Novelty burst its bellows during the second day of the trials. The second engine to compete was Sans Pareil, built by Timothy Hackworth. Hackworth, an energetic boffin, was Stephenson's arch rival. Sans Pareil was less revolutionary than Rocket, but in the right hands performed well. Hackworth had already built a reputation as a brilliant engineer, and there was close rivalry between him and Stephenson.
They were born in the same place, but Stephenson was 5 years older. And he was around all the time watching what Hackworth was doing. When the Sans Pareil was being built, there's no doubt that he was very, very interested in what Hackworth was doing.
Jane Hackworth Young is Timothy Hackworth's great-great-granddaughter, and she's an expert in her family's history.
He was brimming with ideas, and he just kept on trying and trying things out to make them work. And that's what he wanted to do with the Sans Pareil. And of course, he had developed the blast pipe. And this maintained the full pressure of steam in the boiler and forced the exhaust into the chimney rather than just making it go everywhere and nobody could see. He was using that exhaust to carry the locomotive forward. When he came home from work at night, and of course it was all candlelight in those days, he went into the shed and he was building it by candlelight. Every little nut and every bolt was made by him. I mean, things weren't mass-produced then, so it's incredible to think that everything was made. Of course, he couldn't do things like turn wheels, which was very, very difficult science. And things like cylinders, he had to contract out for.
At the time, few companies undertook such specialist work, and Hackworth had little choice in where to get his cylinders cast. The local engineering foundry belonged to none other than his rivals, the Stephensons. In the first few days of the Rainhill Trials, both engines performed well. Sans Pareil covered 27 miles, pulling 14 tons with a top speed of 16 miles per hour. The final day brought disaster.